Okay, so season 2 of, I don't know what to call this yet, but season 2. It is now 2013. So let's recap. In 2012, I met Facebook. He had a daughter who was about to be 1. Met his mother. Met a friend or 2. Wreck his charger. I moved out to Texas. He had dumped me. So all this stuff is happening, right? So let's go on our way. All right, y'all, it's just easier to talk to you guys as I'm in the car driving, just for the, for the hell of it. I made some notes to make sure that I stick sort of to the topic, and you guys already understand at the end of the day, this is all about change behavior. All right, that's what we're hoping for, change behavior. So me, 2013 now, set in Texas, because I already now moved to Texas, and now we technically together. So now him, me, and the daughter, the 1-year-old, live in the apartment, the duplex in New Braunfels, Texas. Right, I work as a project manager for a truck center, Rush Truck Centers. Big up to Rush, and that's what's happening, right? And to this point now, I now have, I've kind of created my own little circle at work, my work friends. Shout out to my boy T. T, you know who you are. From, I think it was Barbados. Either you're from Barbados or the Bahamas, but I remember him being just a good support circle. I used to always reference and tell him what's going on and how I feel and all this other stuff. So we now in 2013, y'all, season 2 of, I don't know what to call this just yet, but I am in the apartment duplex, whatever. I'm playing mom. I'm in a full-time mom role now, y'all. And remember, I told you guys before, I didn't have any experience with kids. Again, but I always wanted a family, always wanted love, always wanted other things. So what I ended up doing was I started enrolling her in things, and I started buying things. I remember one time sitting down at work and having a conversation with one of my mom friends, right? Shout outs to my son's godmother. And she was like, well, Julie, no, like, if you're gonna buy these things, like, you shouldn't be buying it at Macy's, because it was I remember one time I went out and bought some stuff for her. Yes, because I took the initiative to buy stuff. Because if I didn't take the initiative to buy stuff, then stuff wouldn't be bought. Okay, I need y'all to understand that. All right. And it was really crazy, because when you think about the notion of like being a parent and taking care of your kids, like, your first thing is like, okay, whatever they want, I'm gonna get. But that wasn't his sort of like mindset. It didn't seem like, right? Like, whatever it is she needed, I just went out and got it. I was like, okay, it is what it is. I want him to know, like, it ain't about, boom, I'm gonna do this out of the kindness of my heart, and I want him to know, boom, boom, boom. But never in his mind did he ever say, like, well, you know what, she'd be doing a lot. You're gonna do this, just take this. Here's a little cash here, here's a little cash there. Never. As long as I was opening my wallet, he wasn't opening his. It is what it is. So now we move into this space. We family in it. I said we move in, but y'all, it was a space that from 2012 and 2013 is the same space, but now we're all living there together. And it wouldn't have been like long before now he like, yeah, I doing this custody thing. Like, this is just a nightmare, and I don't understand why it's making a big deal of this. And so now the custody conversation really happening. You remember I tell you last season that it had been, this is importante. Okay, I was like, look, it's super important for you to understand that I didn't have my dad. So because there was this guy who apparently seemed like he wanted to be a good dad, then I was like, oh, well, snap. Well, that doesn't even make no sense. Like, why would you even do that? That doesn't even, like, no, that's bad. Hello. No, thank you. So what I ended up doing was I said, okay, well, if we're going to do this legal,
I'm up all night to get some.
That's bad. Hello. No, thank you. So what I ended up doing was I said, okay, well, if we're going to do this legal way, let's just go ahead and do it the legal way. Whatever that means for us, whatever that means for whatever, that's what we're going to do. All right. So ended up, for all intents and purposes, being in a position where I'm like starting to like document, because I'm like, look, you know, the only way for you to be able to, because data never lies. Data will never lie. We can say whatever we want. We can say what we feel. We can say, oh, that made me feel so good on the inside. Data will never lie. So I said, start taking notes. Every time you call and she don't let you talk to her, boom. Every time, or whatever it was. And it's funny because we didn't even get to the point where she went letting I talk to her now. Because again, we still had the little girl, right? We still had the little girl. And it's so weird to call her the little girl, y'all, because for a long time, and I still think she's my daughter, right? But for the purposes of this, so we had his daughter, him, I living in the same space for a little while, at least until about May-ish time frame, maybe June-ish time frame of 2013. So and I went in. I told you guys, went in full effect. I was, I did everything. I literally did everything. Took her to school, paid daycare. Like, I pretty much did everything at a 90-10 rate. So I'm not going to say him I never did anything, right? Because I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not saying he didn't ever do anything. He did just enough to always give me just enough to be like, well, you know, it ain't all on me. It's just some kind of on me. It's just kind of on me, not really all on me. So it was what it was. He says he now wants to do the whole custody thing. And I'm like I said, I make notes, boom, 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 boom. Because you're going to go and you're going to show that, you know, we're talking about this. You can't agree to anything. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right? I'm being his advisor. Right? Because that's what I do, y'all. Like, I be advising. I don't know how to stay out of my... Remember I told you in season 1, I don't know how to stay out of my business. I don't know how to stay out of people's business. Right? So... because they got nothing to do with me, because really and truly, like, if you really want to fight for your kid, then that's what you do. You fight for your kid. I'll just be here to support. But I was like, oh, we doing this? Let's go. Y'all heard? See, so let's go. We gonna do this. Hey, I'm in the trenches with you. I'm in the mud with you. I'm rolling around in the mud with you. So, taking notes. But download an app. I think the app was like Total Recall or something like that. And then... like, it's just what it was, right? So then I'm like, okay, we're gonna go from what it is. Now we in a space, and he's like, okay, we gotta find a lawyer. So now, you know, I do exactly what I do. I'm like, hey, let's see, boom, 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 best custody, boom, 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 in. Oh, and then this is a year till I find out that he was married. 2013. It might have been 2012, y'all, but I found out too he was already married, right? You know, doing one of them things, the ting and the ting and the ting. All right, so we just leave that here. We're gonna leave that right there, because I ain't my job ain't to expose anybody, but it was just a slew of things. So also now, man walking to get unmarried, because what happened, apparently, to once he moved in with me, there was a letter that went to the command, to his command, saying, and apparently the woman was pretending, the letter had made it seem like it come from his wife, that he's shacking up essentially with me. And I'm like, what the? Y'all drama all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. Letter come to the command, talking about how he had a wife and he got a child and he here living with me. Something to that effect. I gotta see if I can find them letters. But I was like, damn, it's just crazy. So now I'm saying to myself, oh, well, the girl know. The girl, right? The daughter, what I know. So she really trying to dick you, right? Because again, you can say whatever you want, where it come out. But I'm like, man, she really trying to dick you. Like, that is low down. If she already know the circumstances to what it is you was and what it was, then, because he explained to me what the marriage was. So I was like, okay, boom. But if she putting that out on the street like that, like, damn, she really trying out you. So now, y'all, any little infraction now making me go
To domesticate you, but you're in that
on the street like that, like, damn, she really trying out you. So now, y'all, any little infraction now making me go on superhero mode even more now, right? Like, I'm like, what? Nah, we don't do that. Kate. Oh my God, I believe I was so damn silly. What the hell? I didn't even know this lady from Adam. But I digress. So when I find out now this is what's going on, I'm like, okay, don't worry about it, because now I'm playing detective. So I'm going through that. I'm like, oh, this definitely got to be her, because guess why? She's now referencing the daughter here when the daughter ain't really hearing this, because this girl that's supposed to be your girl, that's supposed to be your wife, ain't got a girl child. She got a boy child. And y'all, it was a whole bunch of drama, man. Like, that's another red flag. Like, that got to be a red flag in of itself, right? But hey, I glutton for punishment. Stick around. That's the year. And now we in a place where it's like, okay, custody is a real thing. Like, conversations being recorded, text messages being screenshot, Skype conversations being recorded. Like, just because I'm now in, okay, principal mode. Okay, we gonna get all the evidence, right? Because the data's not gonna lie, y'all. I'm telling you, the data will never lie. We now get to this point now where, okay, he says, I gonna have her served in Texas, because jurisdiction now, right? The child had been there for 6 months. We live in Texas. Mother in Virginia. Oh, actually, she was actually deployed at the time in like Afghanistan, someplace like that, right? Afghanistan. And I remember saying to him, and I tell him, and I said, listen, do not serve her while she away. I say, because I'm like, that don't even make no sense. Wait, I'm sorry. This woman here putting her life on the line to serve her country. I know you're in the military too, you serve in the country too. I get it, but you're not deployed. Don't do it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't do it. I don't care what. They know blindsiding. That makes sense. I say to him, I said, don't do it. Do not serve her while she's overseas. It's not gonna look good on you. Guess what he do? Y'all know exactly what he did. He said, whatever. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do anyway. And he might have not said it like that, but his action said it. But I was still there going, okay. You did it. Fine, whatever. So now she's coming to pick Chyla. I really want to say Munch, because that's what I call her, right? Munch. Pick Munch up. Munchkin up. And when she picked her up, we in a place at the airport, and she gets served. Served, right? As she's served, I'm like, in my mind, this part of me is like, damn, that's fucked up. But then a part of me was like, shit, that's what you get, because you ain't answering the man questions. Because again, I only seen what he lame me see. Because I don't talk to her. By this time, y'all, I forgot to tell her you in 2012. When I finally did decide to still come out to Texas, her mother then sent me a message and was like, oh, break up, but you still trying to go to Texas, and I haven't papers written up, and then you ain't gonna be able to see my... Seriously, that's what... And I was like, this girl is a nut job. Like, you were just talking to me nice. Now you hear that he break up with me, but I'm still going to Texas, but now you mad at me? Like, why are you mad at me? This ain't even had nothing to do with me. Now I want to mind my business, y'all. Now I want people to mind my business. But yeah, no, I'm like, it had nothing to do with me. But the fact that she sent me the message, and y'all, like I told you guys, I don't do intentional drama just to be doing intentional drama for no reason. Like, I don't do that. I don't go out picking. Listen, you got it. So she said what she said. I let her say her do. So as we in 2023 now, 2013, I'm sorry. As we in 2013, I think she's feeling like, oh, okay, well, damn, we still going out? You still gonna be around Mike? Because again, he probably finagled his way to get his child, and not already knowing that gonna be in the back pocket, but was telling her what she needed to tell. Because he is really good at that too, telling you exactly what the hell you want, exactly what the hell you want to hear, to just be like, okay, to go along. So now she come to the airport. I standing there, he standing there, she getting sold. No big deal, no big beef, no nothing. Every time I was in her presence, I made sure that I was cordial. And not cordial like, hey, just standing in my own thing. I got nothing to say to you. I ain't even looking in your direction. Period. That's what I did. Didn't cause no scene. That's not what I'm about. Right? So, no, we in a place. She got a child. And now the games.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got.
We in a place. She got a child. And now the games begin. Or what seem like games, y'all? Because again, I only on the receiving side. Unless you know what really going on, or unless you really are part of the ins and outs and all the conversations, you don't know what a toxic person is doing to their victim, only to then pretend like they are the victim. All right? So what I was seeing was a woman who seemed bitter. A woman who seemed like she was just salty because he absolutely moved all the way on. Like that's what I was seeing. So in that retrospect, when we would call to speak to the child on Skype, because she just gone now for like 6 months with him and I. She's seen us every day. We're a part of her routine. So I'd be like, hey, what's up, Munch? And then when I would get on, click. As soon as I say anything to her, click. Hang up, click, click. Damn. Like, what the hell I do? So then it became, okay, so you don't want her to talk to me. You don't want, it had nothing to do with anything else besides the fact you want her to talk to me. Damn, why do you? So again, but this is what toxic people do. And I'm sure, it's funny when I'm thinking about it now, like in his mind, he probably was like, they will never talk to each other now, right? Because like, remember I told you guys, when you're dealing with a toxic person, they don't ever want you to be so close to anything or anyone that can give you insight into what you might be dealing with at all. So they would rather triangulate and make you guys sort of like feuding before you even know each other. You know what I mean? So imagine, I want you guys to remember that I did not necessarily sit down and have a conversation with Munchkin's mom, like a meaningful one, until 2022. Until after I decided that I didn't want, after I decided that I was gonna file for divorce. So keep that in mind, right? So this whole time I'm raising our child and we don't talk at all about nothing. So now it is what it is. Custody in full effect now. I'm like, oh really? So now you don't even want her to talk to me? Like this is, again, ain't my business, but I'm like, I'm feeling some kind of way because I'm like, I just raised your child for the last 6 months too. Then I don't even get to see her. This is crazy. And this is not what the child asked for. This ain't the child's fault. The child should be able to have as many people in their life that love them. Facts. So I ended up going in mode, cape on again, right? We gonna okay, you wanna go fight? We gonna fight. So y'all, put up my capital. We'll find a lawyer. We'll find a dude. Boo. And remember, he had served her in Texas. So when he served in Texas, we go to court. Or they go to court. I can't remember if I was there or not, but they go to court and lo and behold, denied. And I told him, I was like, and then he was mad. Oh my God. Listen, you know what I don't understand? Like, I told him not to do it because of the way it looked. Like, think about it. The woman in Afghanistan, at the time, 2000, y'all know, in 2012, 2013, it was so rough. So she in Afghanistan, fighting for her country. You got her child over here, taking care of her. And you gonna serve her when she comes to pick her up? Talking about you want custody? Like what the hell? Where they do that at? All right. So, needless to say, the judge was thinking the same damn thing. All right. The judge was like, "It's denied." Then he was mad. Oh, yeah, the system's just about women, and it's just about this woman. It's just about that woman, and nah, dude, that was just a fucked up thing to do. It just was. But here I am, still there, y'all. So I say, don't worry about it. It makes sense. I mean, I'm always playing devil. I tell you guys, I'm always playing devil's advocate. So I'm trying to talk him off a ledge and be like, look, you know, it's not. I mean, what I told you, right? And listen, I had to be really mindful of saying I told you without saying I told you, without telling you I said I told you so. So I said, I mean, I kind of told you like that's not a good look. It didn't look good. So what we need, you can appeal. You can either appeal or we could go and just file in Virginia. Like she live in Virginia. They're saying she has jurisdiction in Virginia. So that's what we do. So now here I go again. Tick, 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 tick. Best lawyer. Boop, 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 boop. Came across a name. You know who you are. Appreciate you. Right? And then I started compiling. Just compiling. Like the all you ever did was tick, tick, tick. Best lawyer. Boop, 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 boop. Came across a name. You know who you are. Appreciate you. Right? And then I started compiling. Just compiling like the evidence that we had. And that's what I do, y'all. I'm a curator. I'm an information curator. So I went ahead and I got all the evidence. This is what it was. This is the current plan that they have in place. Here's what it was. This is what just happened. Boom, boom, boom. This is, and I'm laying it out. Just laying it out. And listen, I wanted to be a lawyer in my young life. So really and truly, I was practicing, right? I was practicing a little bit of law without the degrees. So laid out for this lawyer to take a look at, to see the case, and followed by voice recordings. And y'all, I don't be playing. I'm a collector of evidence. All right. So did all that, sent it off to the young lady, and she's like, okay, boom, she's gonna take us on. Retainer time. Retainer's paid. Y'all know I've paid retainer, right? Paying a retainer. 90-10. Remember what I tell you. So whenever I talk about paying stuff, y'all, just know it's on a 90-10 space. All right. Might be off here and there, but it's 90-10. I open my wallet pretty much every single time. All right. And he ain't squawk at it. He ain't say, nah, I got it. Don't worry, I pay you back. No, none of that. All right. So all this stuff happens. And then she gets her case going. And now we got to kind of like fly back and forth to Virginia. It sucks because the court is here. Court is in Virginia. And mother is back in Virginia. And I'm just sitting to myself going, oh, my God, this is expensive, right? And we still in 2013, right? This same year, he has a friend. And this is how I know I was a walking ATM, y'all, because he didn't even blink to ask questions about money. But he had a friend, a good friend too, by the way. Friends, you know who you are. A good friend that I saw, and I was like, man, that dude, he's solid. He's a solid friend. You know when you meet somebody and you're like, you know what? Your energy seems pretty good. Like, you seem like you sane in all, you know, aspects of the word sane. So he had a friend, and that friend was having some legal trouble, right? I mean, and you know, this is another thing too. Like, birds of a feather flock together. So if drama's following people, you just got to be like, like, what's with all the fucking drama? But needless to say, I don't judge people. I really try not to judge people, right? I really, really try not to judge people, y'all. Seriously. So all the stuff happens, and he says to me, yeah, man, my friend, you know, this is what's going on with a dude and his case. And, you know, is it okay if I charge the American Express $5,000? Either $3,000 or $5,000 for his lawyer, because he can't afford it. And I think that friend actually paid that back, so I'm not going to be lying. It wasn't paid back. But needless to say, he asked me to foot the bill. So I say, yeah, I mean, your friend needed, your friend's my friend. We good. Do it. Now all the time, y'all, American Express, if y'all know anything about American Express Gold Card, you gotta be paying off that balance every freaking year. I mean, every month, right? Else it just accumulates and it just doesn't look good on your shit. So he paid. I meant that same year I decided to not give him a spending limit. That was another thing too. I give him no spending limit so that he could, because after the previous, in 2012, we went to the same wedding for his cousin, and he went down there, big ballin' spending, and he was like, is there a reason why the American Express wouldn't let me charge $1,000 in the sneaker store? Another red flag to you. I get it, y'all. I'm actually wearing red today. Maybe this is in tribute to all the red flags that I'm going to talk about that that I didn't see. But yeah, so I didn't have it. So we're in 2023. We're in 2013. It's season 2. We have his daughter. The daughter is then now with mom because mom had come picked her up We are full in effect with custody. He has a friend who also has some legal issues. I foot the bill to begin with. Like I said, y'all, I think that was actually paid back. So it's not like, you know what I mean? But it was paid back. I put in a place where he didn't have to have it like a spending limit anymore on the American Express, because it used to be a spending limit. So that I took off the spending limit. I have emails to show that. Serving the mom at the airport, that was a bad idea, right? So when he served at the airport, serve at the airport, you can't do that. Can't do that at all. So served at the airport, we lost that case. So then we have to go and file for custody in Virginia, footing that bill. Now my parents, my white parents, y'all be like, white parents? Yeah. I have a set of white parents who were amazing to me. They've always been amazing to me. Think of Blindside, but not Blindside. Oh my God, y'all.
'Cause you're a good girl and you know it.
That bill. Now my parents, my white parents, y'all be like, white parents? Yeah. I have a set of white parents who were amazing to me. They've always been amazing to me. Think of Blindside, but not Blindside. Oh my God, y'all. That's just messing up my video. That is definitely messing up my video. Hold on, let me see if I can make some. Ha! There we go. So, with that being said, my white parents are involved now because they come to love me, know me, and they know I'm going hard for this guy. So they're my support circle. So now they become his support circle too. We are in full fight for Munch now, and they met Munch at least one time. So we full fight. A couple of times we have to go up to court, boom, boom, boom. And in between this too, and I don't know if it was in 2013 or 2012, but in between all this, because it's a lot of litigation. There was another time where he had to actually show up into court too, with some charges that she had against him. That she didn't really press, but because it was a domestic dispute, that he had to go. She didn't show up, case was dropped, boom, boom, boom. Right? I want you guys to keep that in mind. But there was a domestic thing, the girl didn't show up, he got off. Right? So, but all the while he's still trying to paint her as this person who's just trying to be super bitter and super whatever for him. Like, seriously. So it is what it is. And I'm there, the new girl, the new supply, just eating it all up. Like, yeah, I can't believe her. Why would she even boop, 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 boop. Well, the questions I should have been asking was, how did you get to the point where you were in a domestic situation with somebody who was like 5 foot? Like, you're 6'4" tall, she's 5 foot, and you're what? You said you were sitting on her? That's it? That's all you did? So they put you in the jail cell because you were sitting on her? Okay, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I guess that looks crazy-ish. But again, I don't know that truth, y'all. That ain't my truth to tell, but that's what was told to me. So, but I know I was there when he had to go to court, showed up as a character. I was always a good character witness. And be like, no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, boop. I don't know nothing. I'm just trying to be supportive. Get to a point, we're going back and forth to court, again, like I said, in Virginia, because we're going to get custody of Munch. And it was interesting, man. Like, I mean, y'all, there were times when my funding was super low. My funding was atrociously low. My cards were maxed out. It was crazy in 2023. I want you guys to pay attention to that. But then also too, we used to have these bouts of, the conversations and the way they were good. Like, after he would have a conversation with daughter's mom, he would come back and be like, oh, I can't believe, and then it's just his energy was off. And I'd be like, why are you taking this out on me? I didn't do anything to you. Oh no, you just don't be listening. So then all of a sudden I wasn't a listener. I don't listen to him. And I always dude, I'm just here to be a trusted freaking advisor and your support circle. Like, don't take that stuff out of me. But I let him anyway, because at this point, remember, either dumb, desperate, or dirty. All right? And I was desperate for love. So what I would do is I just sit there and eat it and try to calm him. Because I remember he used to get, when he would get on the phone and talk to baby mom, and he's like getting riled up. I'm like, dude, like, why are you even, just relax yourself. Like, why are you even talking like that? Like, I'm just trying to be the calm. Listen, I swear to you, I'm trying to be the calm in the back. She puts him on child support. Oh, who tells she do that? Then she put him on child support, because remember, during this time in 2013, we have custody of her yet. Like, it's literally, he'd had her, and now she has her back. So everything is in motion now, and he's on visitation. And mostly because he's in Texas, it's like visitation, mostly on phone. Ever so often go out to see her. Ever so often, I think maybe once or twice. I don't know. Can't remember. I want to go back to the receipts. But get out to see her. Put him on child support, and that, man, oh. And it's funny because he was riled up, then I was riled up. But I remember when he was put on child support, I was like, in my mind, I was thinking, like, why are you so upset that you're put on child support? Like, it's your child. So then now he's trying to make it seem like she's some gold digger that's like, oh yeah, you know, she just wants to be on child support. She just want to collect on child support. And I'm like,
bless you with body.
so then now he's trying to make it seem like she's some gold digger that's like, oh yeah, you know, she just wants to be on child support. She just want to collect on child support. And I'm like, but it's your child, right? Like, be mindful of a person that's talking to you about somebody putting them on child support. It's your child. It is your duty, your God-given right. No, God-given duty. Your God-given duty to support your child. Like, what? Okay. So, because I'm ride or die, I was like, oh, okay. Man, you know what? Yeah, I can't believe, like, why, two woman, like, why would she even, because is she acting like you weren't even paying anything? The little $200 and $300 he's sending once or twice. Y'all, kids are expensive, okay? I just want to let you know, if you collecting at least $1,000 a paycheck, kids are expensive. $200 ain't really cutting it. Ain't doing nothing. All right? I'm sitting and listening to this man just like upset that she put him on child support. Like, that's your children. Like, that's your child. Like, what do you mean? Like, what kind of thing is that? Like, she pays her portion, you pay your portion too. Like, it's a lot. And again, I had the children at the time, y'all, so I didn't even really understand the concept, the true concept of like child support, right? But after taking on, and I already knew she was expensive because I paid for the majority of her lifestyle when she was living at boom, 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 boom in New Braunfels, right? Like, I mean, I knew it because I put her in dance and ballet and all these other things, right? Like, she was busy. And then bought clothes. Like, I remember one time I went to Macy's, bought her all this stuff. I was super excited. Amazon, all this stuff. And I was like, damn, I just spent like $500 on a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old at the time. She was 2-year-olds at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. This is expensive, right? So again, not to dismiss being put on child support by some of the women who are only looking for a cash out. I get that. But I don't think baby mama was that, right? So I'm saying my piece, being devil's advocate again. And of course, you know, he never liked when I played devil's advocate. Because I remember one time he said to me, like, you always got to play devil's advocate. Yeah, you got to hear both sides. I mean, that's the only way for you to make a truly informed decision. Truly informed decision. Let's hear both sides. Like, what is it really, like, why are you really upset? Are you upset at the child support, or are you upset at the fact that you got to open your wallet? Read in between the lines, y'all. I'll be telling y'all, read in between the lines. So, with that being said, he's not on child support. So now his money's even more funny than what it had been. So now things are really strapped, right? Because you remember the apartment's being paid for. And in the same year, I think it was in the same year that one of my tenant decided that she was going to go off with her fiance and leave and break the lease. So, and I was crushed. Now I was paying the mortgage in Fredericksburg, the rent in New Braunfels, and still like playing advisor and ATM to this man, right? And his woes. So get in, do what I do. It's funny because I came across an email that says I sent him a PayPal in August, $875 in 2013. I'm like, what the hell did I pay him for? Should have been paying me. But needless, and they said thanks for everything you do or some crap like that. And I'm like, okay, man, I was really all the way foo-foo. Really all the way foo-foo. Oh my gosh, let me see. I'm trying to look at my notes to see what else I needed to make sure I grabbed in here. But I mean, for the most part, 2013 wasn't like super crazy or anything like that. But like we were just really in full effect trying to get the daughter. It was crazy because think about it. In 2012, I met him. In 2013, we were moved in. He had a daughter. He found the cadence. And even in that cadence too, y'all, like I would get up, take her to school. He would sometimes pick her up. That was times I remember coming home sometimes and being like, this is crazy. Like he got off early and he decided not to pick her up. It was crazy, y'all. And I was full mode. Dinner, not dinner. All along. Like, this is crazy. Like he got off early and he decided not to pick her up. It was crazy, y'all. And I was full mode. Dinner, not dinner. Breakfast, not breakfast. Like I was just in full mode, ready to just be doing exactly what I ended up doing, right? Like if I'm being completely honest with myself, that's exactly what it was. Like it wasn't anything outside of anything other than desperation. If I'm being completely honest with myself, I was just desperate to be loved, desperate to be seen. I mean, and in all craziness too, it almost actually sounds like I was desperate to be used, right? Like I needed to have a purpose, and his drama gave me purpose. So I got sucked in, and that's sad. That's really sad. And I'll say, you know, for those of you guys who are in invisible spaces right now, like it's super important that you recognize that their drama is not your problem. It is not your job to fix anyone. You got to fix yourself. It is not your job to fix anybody at all, in any facet, any way, shape, or form. Period. 2013 was a really interesting space. That's all I could say. It was just a really interesting space because it was season 2, year 2, going on year 2, and it was like, oh, okay. I say year 2, but really it's year 1 because 2012, so 2013 January would have been 1 year. But and that year was filled with lots of in-betweens too, because I remember a couple of times like he would come home and he just looked so upset, and I'd be like, what's wrong? But it was kind of all happening like after the daughter went to her mom. So I was like, you know, all these things were kind of coinciding across the way. So it was just easy to be like, oh, well, it's probably this, not that, right? But I want you guys to take into consideration 2013, right? 2013 is the year. It's ultimately the year that it's the year. And I'll tell you guys more about it when we get to 2016. But 2013 was weird. You'd come home sometimes, I'd be like, damn, why you so angry? Why you look like you're not happy to be here? Right? Like you coming home, food's made, you got dinner made, you got your clothes washed, you coming home to a clean house. Like, what's wrong with you? You could just sit and play video games if you feel like doing that. Like, what's the problem? Like, what's really the problem? Like, what are you saying exactly? Like, what's really going on here? Like, seriously. So But in time, you'll come to find out, like, oh, you had your own demons. You were messing with your own demons, right? Because one thing you'll recognize, y'all, with a toxic person, once they're, I think sometimes in between somewhere, they recognize that they're not being good to you. They recognize that they're not being the best version of themselves. So that eats at them. And when it eats at them, it just kind of spews out weirdly on everything else. So there were days when he'd come home and I'd be like, ugh. But still, I was there. I'm like, man, we can fix it. We can talk it through it. But I'm like, I checked it up to like, maybe he's missing his daughter. But I was like, damn near going broke in 2013, y'all. Like, I was like almost depleted. I don't know how I was cashing out 401s. I was like, I was just doing stuff. And like I told you guys all the time, he always knew how deep my pockets went. Always knew how deep they went. I would tell him every time I got a raise. I would tell him anytime I moved money. It's just, he always knew how deep my pockets went. And that's a dangerous thing too. Nobody needs to know how deep your pockets go. Ever. Unless you know how deep they go. Unless you know how deep theirs go. But no, seriously, I never, and I just didn't. I can't even remember if in 2013, like when we lived together, if like he was paying like for the bills, or if I just kind of paid everything and he gave me some back. I didn't even know how the work out. I was in such a trance. I don't even know I can't even tell you if 2013 was fair or unfair. I just know that I was so consumed with making sure that the end.
This is in the apocalypse.
And he gave me some back. I didn't even know how the work out. I was in such a trance. I don't even know I can't even tell you if 2013 was fair or unfair. I just know that I was so consumed with making sure that the end result of what he wanted was what he would get. Because at first it was like, oh, you know what? Visitation. Okay, so now I drafted this document about visitation. In that document, it talked about taxes, who's going to take the taxes, and just little shit that you don't realize. Like a person that's worried about who's going to claim the children on taxes, like why is that important? Like why is that important? If like something's not funky. If you don't have primary physical custody of your kid, why is who's claiming on taxes anything? Because that person, I physically got him, is probably paying the brunt of stuff. Let them get that tax break. You heard it from me. I said it. I'm just saying. But why is that important? But again, I put what was in whatever he was talking about in the document. Then he also had a line where it's like, oh, if I send clothes, whoever it is bought the clothes, bring the clothes back or whatever. This is all he's trying to get in the mediation document. And I'm like, we want to make sure we don't go any steps unturned, right? So I'm in there just jumping into, still, talking about what I need to talk about too. So then prepping for mediation. So boom, 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 boom. And the document was long, y'all. It was a long document, it was like 20 pages. It was like 20 pages, y'all. Some of my best English degree work. All right? Don't even register or dawn on me. Like, something doesn't, this doesn't even seem right. Like, why would you want to talk about taxes? That's not even important. Like, if you don't have physical primary custody of her, like, it shouldn't matter. Let her mom do the taxes, right? Child support, like, that stuff is automatic, y'all. Like, just be mindful of a person, like, because again, toxic people don't want to be accountable to anything or anyone at all in any capacity. They just want to be, listen, a toxic person just wants to do whatever the hell they want, when they want, where they want, by whatever means they want, and not have any accountability, not have any restrictions. That's just what it was. And for me, he made me think old girl was a narc. So I was like, oh, the only way for you to deal with a narc is boundaries. So I'm like, we gonna put this document together. It's gonna be stringent. We good? See who can, color within the lines better. It ain't gonna be us, because we gonna do it. Because again, I would like to say too, like in 2013, I probably recognized too that I was his moral compass. Like whenever he was talking about some off the wall crap, I was like, but that don't really sound right, right? Like I was just the moral compass to be like, yeah, no, that don't, yeah, right? Like, and that's a role that I play as a trusted advisor. And again, still telling myself this in my own right, because I'm like, oh, well, he trusts me, and he trusts me. But 2013 was like really like, I think, the laying the foundation piece of mind games. And I say mind games, I don't even know if that's what I call it, because I was supposed to, each of these seasons was supposed to be like a thing. And I want to say, oh, it's not mind games, it's financial control. I think it's definitely financial control. Because think about it, financial control, while I thought it was about, while I thought it was about me having control because I was the one choosing to open my wallet, he never really had to open his. So yeah, he really did still have financial control, even though I held my own wallet. Does that make sense? So like, think about it this way. He's not telling me I need to buy this and I need to buy that, but he's already gaslit me and love bombed me so much. And he did just enough too. Like in the beginning of our relationship, he bought me a necklace, a diamond necklace. It was the first diamond necklace I got. I was like, ooh, that's expensive. I was like, I wouldn't spend no diamond necklace. And he made sure I saw the receipt too. I didn't even realize it. When I'm thinking about it, he made sure I saw the receipt. So I knew how much he paid for it, to make it seem like he really was a spender, right? Because ever so often you get moments of he's going to spend something big, but they were far and few in between, right? Because typically I was the one opening my wallet. Think of it that way. Did just enough to get me to
Why you gotta be so rude?
because typically I was the one opening my wallet. Think of it that way. Did just enough to get me to think that we were in it together to win it. And then when you really look at it, that wasn't the case. It was simply to get me in. It was simply to lock me in. By this time, 2013, y'all, financial control, of course, yeah, because it ain't nothing he could say at this point, ain't nothing he could do at this point to make me go away. I'm in it. I'm here. I got you. So, financial control. That's what it was. I opened my wallet every time. Oh, retainer needs to be paid. You short? I got it. Daycare needs to be paid. You short? I got it. But when I was short, ain't nobody I could run to. Oh, I ain't got it, baby. I ain't got it. I think this was a year too that we got a dog. Because I had said I wanted a dog, and it's funny because it was like little things, because like I got to these places where I was like, this is what I want, and then it was like, oh no. So I said I wanted a dog, and I said I want to make sure I don't get a shedding dog, because that was really important. I didn't want a shedding dog. And I guess for him, he was always trying to find ways to occupy me, right? Or make me feel like, okay, so this is still all 2013, because now kid's gone. So now we need a dog, right? We give her something else to look after. Give her something else to be doing. Give her something else to be distracted by, so she doesn't realize that I am really not who she thinks I have the potential to be. So he comes home with this dog, Ghost. Beautiful dog, almost this color of my skin. And but he's gonna be a big dog. And I could already see the fucking dog's gonna be a big dog, y'all. The paws on that dog. Beautiful dog though. Black cur mix of some kind. And I remember saying to myself, like I told him I wanted a dog, but I said specifically I want a small dog. And I specifically said that I don't want him to shed. Because Ghost shed, all right? His fur was everywhere. And he was a big dog, okay? So, get the dog anyway, it is what it is. And now I got a thing to take care of, right? There's another thing to take care of. And again, you got to be strategic And you got to, I say strategic, not strategic. You got to be mindful. You got to be assessing and reassessing. So think about it. 2013 started off. We're all living in the house. From living in the house, we now are in a position. Baby girl is with her mom now. So now I have up to my own device. I started playing volleyball again. I started finding my own me, finding my own, you know what I mean? And one thing a toxic person wants you to be is free. Free to make choices, free to feel free. So then all of a sudden I got a dog. Okay. But in my mind, looking at the positive, I'm like, oh, okay, it's a dog. This is nice. I guess he wants us to take care of a thing together. Y'all, you remember I told you, I lied to myself. I lived a lie, and now I'm living in reality. Okay? I mean, I recognize that I was vibrating low. I gotta say it again. So, with that being said, dog is with us, and that's what it is. And even when, things are what they were, I make sure the dog's good and get him to the vet and all this other stuff. And then, it's weird because when his daughter left to go with his mom, then all of a sudden, like, he would have these moments where he'd be out all night and wouldn't come back. And then I remember one time calling him, and he was just like, I don't understand, like, what's going on? Like, I was drunk, so boo, 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 boo. I don't care if you're drunk or not. And y'all, you know what I think probably helped me in all of this is the fact that I don't drink. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do, drugs or anything like that. So for all intents, and I'm not insinuating that he does either, y'all, just want to say that he does drink, but no drugs to my knowledge. But for all intents and purposes, I don't drink. So I don't ever get caught up in like being out too late and DDs and all this other stuff. So I'm like, but you live at home and you got a girl and blah, 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 blah. You live here. Like, the least you could do is say, I'm alive. I ain't gonna make it home. So I confront him. It turns into a shit show.
Up and said, well, baby, you a song.
And blah, 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 blah. You live here. Like, the least you could do is say, I'm alive. I ain't gonna make it home. So I confront him. It turns into a shit show. And y'all, he was really good about when I would confront him about the things that didn't make sense, to make me feel like I was in the wrong for asking about the thing that didn't make sense to me. Oh, you just want to be in control. Like, I understand. I just can't go out and hang out with my buddies and be blah, 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 blah. Like, what kind of thing is that? Like, you have this thing where, whoa, bro, all I'm saying is, like, the least you could have said was, I'll be back. Not coming back today. Be back tomorrow. And would that have fared well? I don't know. But shit, you didn't even try. You don't even say, like, hey, I ain't gonna make it, but I gonna see you tomorrow, okay? You didn't even try it. You just didn't show up. But it's okay. I get it now. I see now. I understand now why you never showed up. And why all of a sudden you were out. And then why all of a sudden you had a phone lock on your phone. A phone lock on his phone. And then when I would be like, what? And then it was all of a sudden he was always on his phone. Always on his phone. Oh my God. Always on his phone. That same year I came across a text message and it said something like, I thought you said we could do this without catching feelings. Y'all, and even with me seeing that text message, I see the text message. I don't know if it was 2013 or 2014, but it was one of them times. I remember seeing the damn message. I thought you said we could do this without catching feelings. I'm like, what? It's like, okay, what the hell are they talking about? I'm a dummy. But anyway, I'm not really a dummy. I'm just silly. I was blinded. I was so blinded. I didn't think anything of it because I wasn't really, I had always said to myself too, and this is the stupid stuff you tell yourself. Oh, I don't need to be going through nobody's phone because if I have to go through his phone, blue, blue, blue. Girl, go through that damn phone. If you see something, you better snoop and keep snooping till you find what you're looking for. Let me stop telling y'all toxic things. Look, this is not toxic. Listen, if you got to be snooping in somebody's phone for real, it's probably not a place you need to be in. But yeah, so I didn't really go snoop. I just got it, and I just kind of like ignore. I just was like, I didn't go into any more. So I just was like, whatever. This is also too in the times where, like, I started having bouts of bacterial vaginosis, y'all. I mean, bouts. Y'all know about bacterial? Do y'all know what bacterial vaginosis is? Listen, no. I want y'all to picture, and this might be a little too graphic for y'all, but just know. If you ain't know what it is, just go look it up, man, because I don't even think I want to stay on topic. I want to stay on topic. So I was having bouts of bacterial vaginosis. And all the while, like, I'm thinking something's wrong with me. Oh, did I switch my soap? Am I stressing? And of course, I was like, of course I'm stressing. Because, again, everything was always coinciding in good places to always be the thing for something else, right? I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? You are stressing, girl, because, you know, this dude, this court case is crazy, man. Like, you constantly taking journal entry this. Because I was the one writing the journals. Yo, I was the one journal entrying. I was the friggin' one listen, I was the one journal entrying for the guardian ad litem. If anybody has ever been in a custody battle where you're truly collecting your data, it's a pain in the ass to journal every day. Journal every time there's some kind of hiccup. So I was like, man, girl, you stressing. So, you know, that's why your bacterial vaginosis is what you're having these bouts of bacterial vaginosis. Keep that in mind for a little later. So yeah, so I'm like, okay, damn, that sucks. Bacterial vaginosis, that stinks, literally. And he was kind of like oblivious to, like, I don't know, yeah, did you check your soap? Did you check your? And of course, you know what, y'all? He's also a male nurse. I want you guys to know that. It's a corpsman. So because he's a corpsman, it was like, okay, you know, in the medical field, I should say, in the medical field. I was like, oh, okay, it is what it is, right? So he's like, oh yeah, maybe your soap, did you change your soap? I mean, are you boo 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 boo? Because at this point, y'all, in 2013, I was still washing my ass pretty regularly. I want you guys to keep that in mind too, because a big part of this series, y'all, is for you guys to understand that mental health is super important on both sides, for the abuser and the abusee, right? Mental health is super important. But yeah, I couldn't believe, like, so we're in 2013. It's now season 2. You guys are in season 2 with me. And it is quite the year. That's all I can say. It's just quite the year. But this year, 2013, was really all about...
You talk dirty to me.
You're in season 2 with me. And it is quite the year. That's all I can say. It's just quite the year. But this year, 2013, was really all about how are we prepping to win Munch? How are we prepping to win his daughter? Because throughout the year of 2013, it got into whatever it is. And I remember then turning to him and saying, when mediation went, whoop, because she was like, I ain't signing that. So whatever document we put together, she was like, she ain't signing it. All right? So she ain't signing, so there's no mediation, ain't no visitation, ain't no... So I said, damn, girl putting up her fight. Okay, boom. Let's go. I guess we got to go to court. Paying a bloop, bloop, bloop. So, mediation ain't work. We're in a place where I'm like, damn, this shit ain't coming to an end anytime soon. The lawyer is on our side, guardian ad litem, all kind of coming together now. And I said to him, I remember saying to him, I said, listen, because this is so difficult, if you want to go for primary physical custody, I'm okay with that. So now I'm inviting myself to be a full-time parent, y'all. What's wrong with me? Stay out of people's business. Stay out of people's business. So what I ended up doing was saying to him, like, it's okay if you want to go for primary physical custody. Now, mind you, I don't think, if I'm being honest with y'all, deep down, I really think he really didn't want to do no custody. He really just didn't want to pay child support. That's just what it was. So that's why he was fighting. He was fighting because he didn't want to have to come out of pocket. But you know, like I tell you guys, for me, in my mind, after she had put him on child support, after he done got me thinking, whatever it is he got me thinking about, girl, I was like, you know what? Wouldn't it be ironic? I said it. I was like, wouldn't it be ironic that she's trying to get you and dick you for child support, and then you got to turn around and put her ass on child support? Y'all, give me a thing to fix. I'm going to fix it. So, serious mode. That's what we're going to. Serious mode. Activate. 2013 pretty much comes to an end without a whole bunch of anything. It's just the focus is on getting daughter back. That's what it ends up being. Getting daughter back. And we don't get her back till 2014, which is coming up next season. But if we had to recap on 2013, it was simply put, daughter was with, daughter was without. I still spending money left and right that I ain't got. I want y'all to remember that I ain't had. You know, I made a note here, no spending limits, fights, yep, served the mom at the airport, we talked about that. He's put on child support, that was a shit show. He had joined the basketball team for the military. I supported him through that. And then, I forget about that. And lastly, y'all, I forgot to tell you guys, in 2013, there was an incident, either 2013, listen, there was an incident where he was like, yeah, man, I got reprimanded at work today because one of the students said that I was flirting with her or something like that. I was inappropriate with her. And I remember saying to myself, like, what? Like, who's bold enough to come out and say that this is the thing that's happening, but it didn't really happen? And every time I'm done with a season, y'all, what I do is I go back to make sure that whatever it is I told you guys really happened in a year. Like, I was going into 2013, I was like, man, did I tell him the right thing about 2012 and his cousin being married? And it's true. It was the right timeline. But the same for this, because there was an incident where a kid, these are grown ups, y'all, because it's the military, but the student had reported something about inappropriateness. So he came home to tell me. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, okay. And he's like, and so what he gave me was, oh, well, you know, I'm young, I'm an instructor. Some of these people want to, you know, get close to them, but I've already been letting her down slowly. So now that I rejected her, boo, 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 boo. Okay, I guess I could see that happening. And that could happen, right, y'all? Listen, the beauty about a toxic person telling you a story, the beauty about that is that they are well within their rights and the shit makes sense. It be making sense. It makes sense. Somebody could, I just wanted you to know. It makes sense. It be making sense. It makes sense. Somebody could easily be in a position like where she tried to, right? She tried to move on him. Y'all be with me a little bit. Like, I know I'm not the only person. Somebody could have been hitting on him and he was like, nah, no thank you. And because he let her down, she'd be like, oh, you gonna let me down? Well, I'm gonna just tell him that you were flirting with me anyway. That shit happens, y'all. Okay, well, fine. But anyway, I believe them. I believe them. But now that I'm thinking about it, even from then, that's a red flag too, right? Because you have all these instances with these women, right? And I get it. Remember I told you guys, be mindful of these women in his life, all right? So that's 2013. It was a whirlwind of financial control because, again, while I even had my money, while I didn't say, well, oh, he had access to my American Express, actually all my credit cards at that time, right? All my credit cards he could swipe however he wanted. He was an authorized user. I paid pretty much for everything. I barely said no. I didn't say no. I didn't say no. I said barely. I didn't say no in 2013. There were many places where I said no that I remember saying no. And it was all about end result. Get his child back. Get his child back because he's miserable without her. That's what I would say. Oh my God, he's miserable without her. Like, it's just not the same. He needs to be a dad. He wants to be a dad. He's just being hindered. I don't understand why she's doing this to him. I don't know why she's making him feel this way. What is that all about? Who does that? Why would she be doing this? So he already had a flying monkey. Me. I was a flying monkey, y'all. I was the one out there doing his bidding. Yeah, I was the one out there doing his bidding. Yep, doing his bidding. And all the while, this girl, I remember sometimes she would send messages and I'd be like, man, she ain't got no friends. Because why your friends letting you say dumb shit like this in text where we can take it and use it against you? Seriously. But that's me passing judgment again. But I used to always say, like, I had to go through what I went through, y'all, to understand what she might have been put through. And again, like I told you guys, I still don't know all the truth. I just know what I've experienced and what I lived through. So in this season of financial control, it doesn't matter if you have your hand on your own purse, hand on your own wallet, hand on your even buttons of your damn ATM. If you aren't saying no, if you aren't setting boundaries, if you're just in a place where you're like, okay, all right, you need that? Okay, I got you. Oh, don't worry about it. I got 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 it. I mean, there was instances where we would go out, and if we were going to be out with folks, I'd give him a card so that he could be the one paying. Or I'd make sure, I'd be like, hey, make sure you bring the American Express, or make sure you, so that he looks like he's the one. Because I was all about the, not the facade. I don't want to say the facade, y'all, because, you know, I'm not really about the facade. But I was all about, like, you know, appearances. And I always wanted him to feel and be and feel emasculated. Not emasculate, I'm sorry. Feel masculine. Be masculine. Because I recognize that what I brought to the table was sometimes a little intimidating too, right? But that's not on you. It's not on you to dim your, it's not on you to dim your shine for anybody to feel better. They either rise to your occasion, or you just let them where you leave them where they're at. Now that's the lesson, all right? So maybe 2013 was my lesson for me to recognize that he's not on your level. What are you doing, girl? He is absolutely not on your level. You are literally carrying this man on your back, and you'll come to find out what he did with me on his back, what he did to me while he was on my back, all right? But with all that being said, y'all, listen, financial control is a real thing. And it is one of the invisible abuses that we, you know, probably we understand the least. Because they're like, oh, because again, in my case, I had my wallet. He didn't have it. But I never said no. And I paid for everything. I paid for the majority of things, right? And as a level of manipulation that comes with getting somebody to be in a place where they always want to foot your bill. And that's not on him. I keep telling y'all, the man did not do what I did not allow him to do. So I want you guys to remember that always. So here we go. End of 2013. And not super eventful, but still part of the journey. Still part of the adding into it. And I hope that you who are in something similar, you recognize that, do you really want to do it for 10 years? It's 10 years. It took me 10 years to say I'm done. And we only year 2. So we're going to get on to 2014. 2014, y'all. 2014 is next. Year I got married. Yeah. After all of this, I still married him. I did. I sure did. All right? So stay tuned. Remember, the end result and the need for this series is change behavior. I did it. I made all the dumb decisions, so you don't have to. I made all the dumb decisions, so you don't have to. All right? And I'm laughing through it and thriving through it for those of you guys who are in it still and still doing it and thinking that you can't come out on top of it. Stay tuned for 2014. Season 3.
Honestly, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon.